Hey guys, what's going on? It's AtmosCube22 and you guys are watching Best Tactics Ever with me and my Arsenal squad. Now, this episode will be the 4-5-1 formation that you guys have seen me play in my Let's Play if you've been following it. I've probably used it about 90% of the time for the games, and you probably know a lot about it, but you know, I'll just go through it for the people that are just tuning in to Best Tactics Ever. And this series. So, update on the series is that I will be releasing a video every Sunday at the latest. If I can upload it during the week, then I will. I will earlier, but by every Sunday it should be up on the channel. And you guys should receive it in your sub boxes, or you can come and check the channel on Sundays if you're not subscribed. So, you might as well get into it then. Now, in goal, we'll go for the players first. Obviously, I've got excuse me. I've got Szczesny and I've got Green. So I'm going to go with Szczesny. Actually, hang on. Before that, as you can see here, the familiarity between the 4-5-1 formation and my other formations isn't as good. Like I've got better. The team are more familiar with these two formations, the 4-3-3 and the 4-4-2. Never mind the 4-2-2. That was a mistake. But yeah, the familiarity with this formation is less than these two, obviously. So what I tend to do is I tend to leave it on high. Sometimes very high if I'm not... Well, you can if you want do very high until they get fully familiar with it. But the problem with that is it reduces condition, or it may reduce condition before a game, because match preparation is always before a game. So you want to be careful with that. I just leave it on high and hope by the end of the season that it will be they will be fully familiar with it. And then additional focus areas, anything that you know I feel that the team's not good at that particular time. Like now, I'm just gonna I'll put it on attacking movement, because in the Let's Play I want the team to get in, just try and get a bit more goals in the games and secure wins and things like that. And I think teamwork's been good enough so far this season, so I've turned that off. But normally it is teamwork. But anyway, let's get into it. So Szczesny in goal, and I'm gonna go through every role as I put them in. So, actually, no, I'll do that after. It'll be less hassle. So, the best team I would suggest for this is, well, FM suggests that Mertesacker and Vermaelen are the best defenders, and I don't mind playing Mertesacker in this formation. The reason being because I've got that holding midfielder, and I've got the other two centre mids as well if I need, and I've also got two quick fullbacks in Bakary Sagna and Andres Santos, and even Kieran Gibbs, who's even quicker, and Knowles is quite quick as well. So you've got two decent fullbacks who can cover for Mertesacker, and even for Vermaelen, who's really quick as well. And then you've got Alex Song just holding in front too. And then you've got two hard-working midfielders in Mikel Arteta and Aaron Ramsey at the moment. But obviously, when Jack Wilshere comes back, it will be Jack Wilshere there, and it will be Ganzo there. Well, that will probably be it. But obviously, I'll switch it around with Arteta and Ramsey. And even if I want, I can even push that person forward and slot in Benayoun or Arshavin in the middle of midfield. But just for the sake of convenience, I'm going to take these two injured players out and just leave it with Arteta and Ramsey for the moment. Yeah, and then as you can see, I've got two inside forwards, and the reason for that is because of the specific players in Walcott, Gervinho, and Park Ji-young, who I play on the wing, on the left wing sometimes, and Arshavin as well, who I play on the wing, and sometimes even Robin van Persie if I'm running low on the wing supports. But then I've also got people like Chamberlain, Miachi, who can come in as well, and all those type of players are really quick and good wingers. But what they are as well, they're good finishers as well, which is why I've got them as inside forwards. And obviously I'll go into the particular things you want, and obviously Robin van Persie up front as an advanced forward, because I want these two here, because they're quite wide, they're more like in the wing position on the pitch. They're going to be drifting inside, but I also want Robin van Persie to be creating chances for them, so he should probably be a poacher, but I put Robin van Persie as advanced forward because he can sort of do that role in between here, create chances for Walcott and Gervinho, and that's even backed up as well, because Walcott's got the second highest goals in the team with 8, and Robin van Persie's top with 9. So he has been setting up a lot of people. Walcott's got the most assists, even though Van Persie's got his fair share of assists and goals himself. So on the bench, you could just obviously select who you want and cover those positions, but it doesn't matter too much. I normally select the people who just who've got the best condition, etc., etc. Now, with this formation, I tend to go control, because it's a slightly defensive formation for me, because I've got the 4 defenders, and then I've got the holding midfielder and the 2 centre midfielders who help out in defence. So it keeps the defence tight, and it's good to use against the big teams, which is what I do. And it leaves me less exposed, because I've also got Javinia and Walcott here, who will tend to come back and trap back, and also give me a chance to break on the counter-attack as well. I tend to play deep defensive line, because then I've got Song holding in this midfield, so it doesn't leave too big a gap. And then you've got Ramsey just hovering around here, and Mikel Arteta just running up and down here, helping the defence as well. You can always turn this player into a box-to-box midfielder or ball-winning midfielder. That's especially good when you've got someone like Essien or Ramirez or Darren Fletcher or someone like that who will run all day long, and even Park Ji-sung as well if you play him centre mid. But width, I tend to keep it normal. I don't want it too high, because I want these 2 drifting inside. I don't want them staying out wide, because I want to have that attacking pedigree with these 3 up front. Tempo, I'll keep it on normal. I normally adjust it depending on if we're playing home or away, or what type of player I want. So if I want to counter-attack, I tend to play quite quick and try and not get them to knock the ball around quite quickly. And if I'm at home, sometimes I'll play slow and get them to build it up, make some good runs and whatnot. Time wasting, I only change that if I'm winning and there's a couple of minutes to go. Then I tend to put that on all the way up to often and whatnot. Focus passing, wherever I think my team's good enough to unless there's a particularly crap player on the other team. For example, if it's the right back and the left back, or just one of them, I might do. I won't change this. I'll actually go to the player shouts and say exploit the flanks. So that's always stuff you can consider. Playmaker Arteta, obviously. Ganzo as well, and even Wilshere when he comes back. Target man is always the striker, and supply is always mixed. Unless you've got someone that's really quick. For example, he's a really quick striker. Someone like Daniel Sturridge, he's really quick, but he's not the best in the air. Someone like him you can put run on to ball or to feet, to head, whatever. And then that's all personal preference. Philosophy, I tend to go fluid. I haven't explained this because I want people to drift and to roam from position, especially in the front 3 as well. And as I explained with the 4-4-2, is I tend to keep it on rigid or balanced, because I don't want them moving out positions, creating gaps. Because with this formation, you can sort of allow that, because you've got the players like Song who will hold, Ramsey who will hold, and then you've got the 4 defenders and stuff as well. So that's good as well. Something you can do in this as well, which I've done quite previously, is move that player up there, or even in there. In there, and then you can change him, and that's where I tend to play Ben Ayoun and Arshavin, because they can't play centre mid. And then if that happens, I'll play it like that. Or if I move him there, then I can always move him across and bring him there. That's what I tend to do when I play Coquelin and Frimpong, because then you can play the 2 defensive midfielders. Obviously, I can bring in Bender now, and then Arshavin. Oh, sorry, my bad. Robin van Persie back in there, and then obviously Arshavin here, and then Ben Ayoun as well. And then I've got people like Ganzo, who's not the best in that formation. He prefers to play centre mid. And then I've also got Wilshere, who's best in that position, I think, as well. He's actually best in that position, I'm not sure. Yeah, he is best in that position, Wilshere. But so I've got a wealth of options that you can choose, but obviously it depends on your squad and stuff like that. With the wingers and the inside forward, that's only because I've got people like Walcott and Javinia who can finish and are more striker-ish. I know Javinio's pretty much an out-and-out winger, but I like my wingers like him and Walcott. I like them like that, so they can come inside, score goals and whatnot. So let's go back to the original formation, and we'll go into the specific player traits. So Ramsey in there, Ben Ayoun in there. Excuse me. So player instructions: Szczesny normal, as it was with the last one, and all my formations: goalkeeper, defend. You don't want any risk taken from the goalkeeper. We want a solid back 4, and he is the key one in that. You don't want to sweep a keeper unless you've got someone like Victor Valdez, De Gea, or Reina, or even Peter Cech, who can distribute the ball really well. And someone like Szczesny, he's really young as well, so don't want to take any risks. My fullbacks, both my fullbacks, I like to have them on support. I like them overlapping, helping the wingers out, getting back, and as with every formation, I like to put through balls on often for every single person to try and slide the wingers through. I don't know. I've done more. I don't know why they're all ticked on this one, but they're pretty much the same for Sanya and Andre Santos. It's just they're ticked. The centre backs. the same once again. The only thing I'll change about these during a game is the marking. If I want them to mark a particular person, for example, when I played Stoke in the last game, I played Mertesacker to mark Crouch, and Vermaelen to mark Walters. And excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so with the centre backs, you want passing style mixed. You want mainly short. You don't want hoofing the ball unless you've got someone like Shamak up front, and then run from deep. Just keep these on sometimes because you might need them to have a pop and go, especially when they're coming up for corners and whatnot. Through balls on often. Once again, if they're in corners, cross balls sometimes, and then most of the time it'll say from deep, and that will be good as well because they'll normally be around here. But I just put mixed in the case of a rare opportunity that they're there or something like that. So yeah, go into the holding midfield now. You want them to hold up the ball just in case you can bring a break on. You want them to keep the ball and keep it for the team. You don't want them losing out. And that's really key. If you don't want them to hold up the ball, obviously you can select no. But I think that's a really key thing with an anchor man especially. So cross from mixed, obviously that'll be on deep. You can change that back to mixed, like I said. It's pretty much the same for centre backs, to be honest. Pretty much the same, but the mentality's a bit offensive. With defence also, yeah, the mentality's full on defensive, and the wingers, not the wingers, the fullbacks are pretty much in the middle. So going on to the right side of midfield, it's Aaron Ramsey in support, centre midfielder. You want him a bit attacking, and you want him to cross the ball from mixed as well. That'll be automatically done. Through balls on often, that'll be normal for a centre midfielder like him. There's nothing really specific that you need to change there. With Arteta, he's a slow person, so I don't want him running with the ball. I don't want him having long shots because he's not the best. But obviously through balls and things like that, you can change. They're pretty much to that specific player because Arteta's not the fastest, so I don't want him doing stuff like that. I don't like long shots like high on most players because they'll just boot it over the bar or something like that, waste an opportunity. So that's what I do. With an inside forward, it will be cut inside. That's really key, and that's also helpful if you're playing two players on the opposite wings to their preferred feet. For example, Real Madrid, they play Ronaldo on the left wing, Di Maria on the right, and that's good so they can cut in and shoot and stuff like that, which I tend to do. Also, Walcott will cut in even though he's right-footed, but then he'll get involved with Van Persie's play and Gervinho, and they'll start making chances for each other. So that's the same for Walcott and Gervinho, even though Walcott is right-sided midfielder himself. Right-footed and on the right side. I've got these two roam for position. Once again, I want them cutting inside, moving around, making it hard for the defenders, linking up with Van Persie and the midfielders. And also I want Van Persie to roam from position. I want these three interchanging. Actually, most of the time I'll have that on no because I don't want Van Persie moving. I want them to score a lot of the goals. And if that happens, then I'll just put him on poacher. But for now, I've got him in advanced forward, and he's a lot more, especially Van Persie, he's a lot more effective as a advanced forward. That's pretty much it, guys. For the 4-5-1 formation, I've gone through it pretty quickly, I think. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Can't think of anything else other than obviously it depends on that certain player, and obviously you can check where the player likes to play, where their best role and position is. If you go to reports, position, it will say centre midfield, advanced playmaker, support. So obviously his most comfortable position would be advanced playmaker and support, but I've got him central midfielder. He'll still play well, but obviously he'll play better. That's why Arshavin plays really well when I put him here, when I put him there. 1 minute. When I put him there, he's got obviously the light green, which is his favourite position, and I put him Trequartesta, which is his favourite position, which is really key into why he plays so well there, and not so good on the wing. So it does have an effect if you don't play him in their favourite roles and stuff like that. But they'll learn to adapt. Is one thing I've learned. But Arshavin is quite old, so he won't adapt as well. Also, Van Persie is also Trequartesta as well, but he plays really well as an advanced forward, deep lying forward poacher. He's a really good striker if you want to mix and match around because he can score goals, create them, and play. He actually can't play here, which I'm really surprised about. Well, not too well anyway. But if I do decide to play him there, he could be really effective. So that's pretty much it, guys, for the 4-5-1 formation. Also, I want to say if you do have a formation like this and you do change it, then the familiarity will go down. So if you move like there, then that will move up. There, that will go down. See what I mean? And that's pretty much what I mean. And also the familiarity will go up and down depending on the players, if the players are playing in their favoured position or not. So if you see here, if I put Mikel Arteta in the midfield, the familiarity goes up. I'll shove in there, it goes down. Well, it did before. Well, it doesn't do it now, but whatever. It's not really helping me. There you go, it's gone back up. I don't know what happened there, but put Arteta back in there. So that's pretty much it for the 4-5-1 formation, guys. Look out for the next episode during the week, and I'll see you guys for the next Let's Play episode, which will be against Bayern Leverkusen. And I'll explain some difficulties I had while recording the Stoke game. So I'll see you guys for that.